This video is all about general safety in the woodworking lab. First of all, let's talk about protective equipment. Everyone needs to wear safety glasses. There is a classroom set provided to you, but if you choose to bring in your own set of safety glasses, they need to be OSHA approved. Whenever you're working in the shop, you're wearing your safety glasses. Second of all, you need to wear closed-toed shoes. If anything drops, we don't want anything damaging your feet. Finally, we offer hearing protection. Again, there is a classroom set available to you, but if you choose to bring in your own set of hearing protection, there's plenty of choices to choose from. Before a student can use any of the equipment in the room, you must accomplish a few things. First of all, you need to watch a demonstration on each machine, whether that's live or on video. Second of all, you need to pass a safety test with 100% accuracy and keep retaking the test until you get that 100%. Third, you need to demonstrate the proper use of that piece of equipment to your instructor. Fourth, you need to be given permission by the instructor, which is usually at the beginning of class when we say go to work. And lastly, an industrial tech teacher needs to be in the room. We are the only people qualified to allow you to use this equipment. Items can create safety hazards in the woodworking lab. Anyone under the influence of drugs or alcohol, including prescription medication, can be a hazard to themselves and the people around them. Drugs and alcohol impair your judgment, coordination, and fine motor skills. If you are mentally or physically unable to operate machinery safely, it is best to work on tasks which don't require equipment that could hurt you and your peers. Second, you need to wear appropriate clothes. No loose clothing or jewelry should be worn in the woodworking lab. Loose clothing and jewelry can potentially get caught on moving parts and equipment. The most notorious piece of clothing is hoodies with strings attached. They easily get caught in moving parts. Now, just like hoodie strings, long hair can also get caught in moving parts and machinery. Make sure you tie back your long hair so it does not get caught in some of the machinery. Never remove any guards from the machines. Whether you're using a jointer, a grinder, a table saw, a miter saw, any of the tools in the lab, the guard should always stay in place. Whenever you need to make adjustments, always shut off the main power or unplug the power tool from the socket. Always be sure to cut one piece of material at a time. Any more than one piece can potentially be dangerous. If you're using long material, make sure you have someone or something support it. We have tables in the classroom. If they're not available, have someone help you. For cut lines, you're going to have curved cut lines on a bandsaw or straight ones on any other saw. Always make sure you keep your hands outside of the cut lines to avoid any kind of cuts. Any scrap next to the blade that has just been cut off should always be removed with a push stick or another piece of material. Never grab a piece of scrap wood with your hands. I want to make sure that you leave here with all 10 of your fingers. Before you leave a machine, always make sure that you turn off the machine and wait for the blade to stop. Don't leave it a mess either. Always clean up after yourself. It's good to leave the tools in good working order for the next person. Now let's talk about some general electrical safety. First of all, conductors of electricity. Those are materials that allow electricity to easily pass through them, like copper. Copper is probably one of the most popular conductors of electricity, which you can find in most wiring. Another great conductor is gold. You'll only find gold really on the ends of audio-video cables like these. Another good conductor is water. 60% of the human body is made of water, making the human body an excellent conductor of electricity. Now let's talk about some insulators of electricity, or materials that don't allow electricity to pass through it easily. The biggest one is rubber, but most commonly we'll find plastic that is wrapped around all of the wiring in our electrical cords. So we'll see a conductor on the inside wrapped around an insulator on the outside. Always be aware of damaged electrical cords. Look for cracked insulators, exposed wires, or if a ground prong is removed. That's important because stray currents will go to an outside piece of metal that's driven in the ground called an earth ground. Another electrical hazard to be aware of is overloaded circuits. Too many things plugged into the same circuit can overload it and it can cause a fire. To prevent this, there are things called fuses like these in the automotive industry, or there are fuses like these found in your home. But an easier method is a breaker. A breaker is a switch found in a panel like this. Either breakers or fuses will stop a circuit if it becomes overloaded. If you ever need to change a blade or a bit, whether that's a drill, a saw, or a router, always make sure you turn off the main power or unplug the tool before changing that bit or belt. A blade might need to be changed if it's dull, or it's cracked, or it's chipped. If you're not sure if it's dull, just ask yourself, is it cutting the material clean? Is it burning the material? If not, it probably needs to be changed. Or like these belts that have been ripped, torn, blades that have been chipped or cracked, any of those circumstances, the blade or belt needs to be changed. Whenever we're drilling through material, we want to use a backing board. Backing boards will prevent chip out like this and prevent table damage on the machine. Whenever we're using a twist drill bit, we need to know that it can drill through wood, plastic, metal, but it cannot drill through tile or glass. Otherwise it can crack. It is brittle. Now remember, follow your safety contract. Always think ahead and ask what if questions.